Hey, welcome to Lights and Buttons. This is part 2 of the Finishing My Basement series here on this channel. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll have a link to it. Part 1 describes the planning. This is part 2. As you can see, the framing has gone up. We have some family friends come over and do some of the work here for us. I have some of the wiring diagrams in the first video, so go check that out if you haven't already. Coming over to the other side, away from the photo/video studio, behind me is the new home theater system. The projector wall will be on this side, and the projector itself will be here. Now, I do have the option of mounting the projector up to the ceiling, which is what I have on the first floor. The problem is that with this house, the joists are a little bit loose. I guess flexible would be the better word. If the washing machine is going on the second floor, you can actually see the vibration come through the ceiling and into the projector mount, and then since I'm projecting about 120 inches of diagonal screen, you see the vibration come through into the video. So that's one thing I want to avoid. So instead, I'm going to have it mounted on the floor. Well, I'm going to have a stand on the floor and then put the projector on top of it. That way, as people walk around on the first floor, we're not getting the vibration from that. Now, each major step of the way, such as framing, requires an inspection, at least for our local laws. The inspector came, he pointed out some minor things here and there that require some fixing. So here, for example, we need an additional fire block. He checks all kinds of things and gave me a list of things to work on. Now, after that's done, we're going to move on to the electrical phase. So that includes all the speaker wiring, the low voltage wires, as well as the 120 volt outlets. We're going to install something like this into one of the walls, and this will allow us to have the speaker wires run behind. Same thing with the HDMI. This so happens to come with 3 HDMI ports, but I'm planning to only use one since everything's going to go to the receiver first and then out to the projector. Now, perhaps the largest challenge here is the structure. Along the ceiling we have a bunch of pipes that run below the joists, as well as some gas lines, the hot and cold water, and that poses a challenge because we're planning to lower the ceiling, but as part of the code in this area, all the townhouses require sprinklers. Now the sprinklers are set to a higher point where they're assuming you're mounting the ceiling directly onto the joist, which means that we have to bring the sprinklers down. Now I'm going to have to talk to some folks and see if we can either box out the pipes or if we have to lower the sprinklers. And if we lower the sprinklers, we have to bring someone in that's licensed. But even if we can box out this part, there's also an extra gas line for the kitchen. There's also a couple other pipes that we might have to remove. So there's some considerations that have to be made, but more conversations are needed around that. I'll keep you guys up to date. Thank you for subscribing. For those of you who subscribe, if you haven't, consider subscribing. We'll see you in the next video.